All right, here's my really late post-game reaction to the Michigan-Indiana game. Or Indiana? What am I talking about? Nebraska! You already beat Indiana. What am I talking about? Michigan-Nebraska, excuse me. Michigan-Nebraska game was done on Saturday. It is now Sunday night when I'm filming this, so that's my procrastination showing, or my laziness, I guess. But Michigan wins 34-3, dominating all the way through. Man, can I just say, and I'm sure a lot of you already knew this, and I've known it, but I just really haven't thought about it. Michigan is one of the most boring teams to watch. I swear. I don't think they've had one really super exciting play this year. Maybe a few early on in the year when we were playing garbage cans. But lately it's so boring. Now it works. I'm not complaining about the way we're playing. I'm just pointing it out. They're just not very exciting to watch. Get out on offense, run the football, run, play action pass, screen pass, a deep ball that never works. Once in a while. They tried a lot of deep balls in this game. None of them worked. So, I just wanted to say, we're one of the most boring teams to watch in college football. Now, it works. I'm not saying they need to change anything. It's working. We won by 31 points. We dominate every week. So I'm not complaining about that. I'm not complaining about how we win the game as long as we win it and look good doing it. We just move so slowly, so methodically, just so boring. It's boring watching Michigan on offense. But again, it works. We're 10-0. First time since 2006 that we're 10-0. We've started a season 10-0. And only the third time since 1975. So, again, I'm not complaining. I'm happy. We got the win. And, when we get the win, I'm happy. Especially when you dominate. Nebraska was never in this. They never stood a chance. We dominated literally from the start. I could tell we were much better than they were. They got the ball to start the game. Couldn't do anything with it. We get the ball, march right down the field, and score. Now, it took us 5-6 minutes and like 12, 13 plays. So, I think in the end, we'll say, yeah, it was boring. Yeah, there wasn't really anything that wasn't really anything that exciting about Michigan's offense. No big-time plays, no long 60, 70-yard passes for touchdowns or, anything crazy like that. But, hey, we do what works, and what works for us, well, it works for us. No matter the weather, whether it's raining, sleeting, snowing, windy, we're going to run the football. And it's, we don't care what the weather is. So we're a ground and pound team. We dominate the line of scrimmage. We dominate time of possession. We dominate pretty much everything offensively when it comes to running the football or the play action pass. And J.J. McCarthy has a really bad percentage completion-wise when it comes to deep balls, but when it comes to short screen passes, crossing routes, run pass options, play action passes, really high percentage, completing close to 70%. So can't really complain when it comes to that. Just stick to what works. That's all I can say. But yeah, we won this game 34-3. Blake Corum on the ground, 162 yards of his own. Donovan Edwards was in there. CJ Stokes got some plays in and some first downs. He looked really good. He didn't fumble the football this time, so good on him. Offensive line dominated, like I was saying. Defense did really, really well all game long. They played a complete game this time. So, Michigan playing a complete game, can't complain. Can't complain. We haven't really done that in a while. So we were up, I believe it was 17-3 or 14-3 at halftime. I think it was 17-3. Yeah, it was 17-3. And yeah, we look good. We look like how we have all year. Not really much to say. I make these, after game videos, kind of talking about the game and how Michigan looked. And I've been saying the same thing every week. I know. I would just be beating a dead horse. I'm going to tell you exactly what they're good at and what they're not good at. They can't throw a deep ball, but they can run the football really well. They can pass. It's a mix-up. They can pass, but it's never, I'm never going to rely on that, I never know if it's going to work out for them. To me, sometimes these balls are 50-50, but when they run the right play and can get guys open, it's great. These receivers are still underperforming, though. Now, Ronnie Bell had a touchdown pass today, or touchdown catch, and I think he almost had a second one, but he fumbled the football in the end zone, picked up by Andrew Anthony, and he got the touchdown. So I don't know, is that technically a touchdown pass for Andrew Anthony or a touchdown catch for Andrew Anthony? I don't know. Because literally Ronnie Bell fumbled it on like the 1 yard line. He did not cross the plane. So, yeah. But, yeah, we win the game. Nebraska had a field goal early in the first or second quarter. It's really the only time they ever even sniffed points. After that, they never stood a chance. For how many weeks in a row now, we have held our opponents to, what is it? 0 points now in the second half. 100-3 coming into this week. I think now that's up to, what is that up to now? 27, like 17 more. So 117-3 through the entire year in the third quarter or in the fourth quarter or just the second half. So we dominate the second half, but we dominated the first half of this game too. Like I said, Nebraska never stood a chance. They're not a good football team. But we beat them a lot better than we did last year. Last year, we actually had a close game with them, only beating them by 3, I believe. And at one point, we were losing and could have lost that game against Nebraska last year. Same thing with Rutgers. Didn't happen this year. We dominated Rutgers this year, so that's good. Improvement there. Got Illinois next week. I still think Illinois is a pretty good team. They've lost how many games in a row now? Is this the second loss or third loss now? They lost again over the weekend to, what was it? Who'd they lose to? Purdue. They lost to Purdue. Purdue leads the West. So if Purdue wins next week, if you're a Purdue fan, you're going to be rooting for Michigan to beat Illinois to really win that spot. Because I think if you guys win and Michigan wins next week, you've clinched a West spot, a Big Ten West spot. I'm not sure. I'm not totally sure. Yeah, probably not. I think it's going to come down to the last week, honestly, because there's teams below you. So we'll see that. But right now, you guys lead the West. I don't remember the last time Purdue was in a Big Ten championship game. I don't think they ever have, honestly, from when I started watching. I started watching Michigan football in 2009. I don't think I've ever seen Purdue in the Big Ten championship. And especially when we went to East and West divisions, I ain't never seen it. When it came to the West, it's always been Iowa, Wisconsin, Northwestern on some blue moon year. You've seen Northwestern, maybe another team in there at some point, but never Purdue. Purdue has always been too inconsistent to really win the West. But the Big Ten West is so terrible this year, so garbage that, like, what am I supposed to say? Illinois still might be the best team, when it comes to talent, I guess. I don't know. Purdue, I don't know. Is Purdue better than Illinois? Did Illinois have a bad game? Have they just been on another off week? I don't know. They better be ready next week, though. They go to Ann Arbor. So, going into this game with them, though, this next game with them, Illinois has still got a really highly ranked defense. I believe they allow 12 points a game or so. Michigan allows 11 points a game. That's not a big difference, but the major difference is Illinois scoring 26, 27 points per game. Michigan scoring 41, 42 points per game. So, top 10 ranking in both offensive scoring and defensive scoring. And it's in Ann Arbor. Now, I'm not saying Illinois is going to lose or Michigan's going to win, I should say. I'm not saying Michigan's going to win, but yeah, I don't know. You might have to hope Michigan's not having an off day because and get that defense ready because you're probably going to need it. And you're probably going to have to rely on passing the ball now because your running back, I don't know, Chase Brown, I hope he can play, honestly. I really hate it when players get hurt. I want the best players out there. Chase Brown, your running back, leading rusher in the country, actually, off of almost 300 attempts. Out. He got hurt in the last game in the loss against Purdue. I hope he's good to play. Signs aren't pointing to that being the case. Now, no one's been able to run the football on Michigan all year anyway. I mean, we're allowing 72, on average of 72 rushing yards a game, which, if you didn't know, is number 1 in the country. Number 1. We're at the top of the list in that category. So, no team has really been able to run the ball on us anyway. And you're going to have to rely on your passing game, probably. But that's what every team has had to do. So, maybe Chase Brown wouldn't have been a factor anyway. But I hope he's able to play either way. I hope he's okay and gets better. Because I do want to see him play. Yeah, so that's a big game. It's still a big game. I know they're 7-3 now, and with these new playoff rankings coming out this Tuesday, I don't see Illinois being ranked anymore, unfortunately, which sucks because that could have given Michigan another ranked win if we were to beat you guys, of course, beat Illinois. Yeah, it's going to be an unranked matchup. So now, thanks, Illinois, by the way, for losing. Thank you so much. I'm being sarcastic. I wanted you guys to be undefeated. Seriously. To me, that Indiana game felt like it felt so weird and so fluky to me at this point because Indiana is garbage. Indiana is terrible. Indiana is Indiana, man. I mean, they had that one good year, I think in 2020 or 2019 or whatever. 2020, I don't remember what year it was. I think it was 2020. Because we beat them in 2019 and 2021 and 2022. It was the 2020 game we lost to Indiana for the first time in close to 30 years or something like that. First loss since 1987 against Indiana, but ever since that year where Michigan was way down and Indiana was up and were actually better than us, it's been same old Indiana. Michigan's back to where they should be. And Indiana's getting blown out by Michigan and by everybody they play again. Some things never change, and if they do change, it doesn't last very long. That Indiana game felt so fluky. So I thought you guys weren't going to lose another game until you played Michigan. Really, honestly. But then you lost to Michigan State, and it was like, what the heck happened? And then you lost to Purdue. Now you have 3 losses. You're 7-3. And I believe Purdue is 6-4 in their overall record. But both teams are 4-3 in the conference, and Purdue has the tiebreaker. So Purdue leads you right now. So you need them to lose, and you need to win this game to make it to the conference title game. Who knows, man? Are we gonna have a conference title? Are we really about to have a 7-8 win team in the West. Man, the West is garbage. The West is garbage. I know. I'm going off on a tangent at this point. I'm not even talking about the Michigan game anymore. Mostly just talking about next week because that's the next big thing. Nebraska was kind of irrelevant to me. I was like, yeah, just beat them. Go out there, beat them to a pulp like you're supposed to. We got to prepare for Illinois. That's a much tougher game. And I was just like, man, just get out of there with a win. Honestly. Get out of there with a win. Look good doing it. No injuries. All that stuff. Now, we are still pretty beat up. Along our offensive line, we're pretty beat up. Some guys are out. Some guys aren't playing. But we're still looking good on the offensive line. Not at full strength, though, which is annoying. So I'm hoping we can get better there. So, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, that's my feelings on the Nebraska game. Get ready for Illinois next week. If we can win that game and Ohio State beats Maryland next week, we'll have an 11-0 versus 11-0 matchup in the Big Ten for Michigan, Ohio State. That's the really, really big game for us. But we got to take care of Illinois first. Just like Ohio State needs to take care of Maryland first. Maryland's irrelevant. Maryland's no good anymore. I don't know what happened to them. They've completely fallen off the face of the planet. Kind of like Illinois has lately. I don't know what's going on with some of these teams. They're just losing when they were winning all year. They were doing really well for themselves. And now they've lost some games they shouldn't have lost. And now their credibility and all that is kind of falling off. I don't know. But we'll see how Illinois plays next week. Hopefully Michigan can get the game done, get the job done, and get out of there and focus on Ohio State and that trip to Columbus. All right, see you guys later.